Come on. Give me the podium here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Dale!
Why? He got all excited under that table for some reason.
Waiting for this one. Over the last probably year and a half. First of all, do we have any hunters in here? Anybody hunt? Okay, so this fiasco thing that was going on last fall, everybody knows about it. And it's forgotten about. Nobody's talking about it. Now there's a guy that runs a radio show out of the Upper Peninsula that's pretty controversial. The Outspoken Sportsman. I don't know if any of you guys ever heard him or not. And his issues, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent in the claims that he makes, or his personal opinions, that's up to everybody to listen to, and I think that's what this country's all about. But more so, the truth is being told by a couple of people that are in the know. Rory Matson is out of Delta County Conservation District. He did a FOIA on the Department of Natural Resources. Wanted to know where their finances were, what the history was. Where's all this money going? How can you be broke? They strung him out over a year complying with this FOIA. Why? This is our government we're talking about that's compelled to comply with a FOIA. And they ignored him. They strung him along. He still doesn't have it all. Now by word of mouth, and that's all I can tell you, he claims there's $28 million that's in play that's been taken from us over the course of X amount of years, according to the FOIA. We heard about $10 million on the news. It was an $8 million deficit, and then it was a $10 million surplus, and then I was reading the NRC notes, and Mindy Coke says it's $2.5 million really in February, and then in March, Becky Humphries comes out and says, well, you know, another one of her explanations for the $10 million. So what do we listen to? The figures don't match. We got entities out here that are speaking, talking millions in figures, and nobody's numbers agree. So nobody knows where it's at. Nobody knows who's on the same page. The advocacy end of it. And the point was very well brought up. The money's not being paid. And we're putting up with it. Somebody stole my mic. Basically, we're putting up with it. We're not giving them the friction, the pressure that they need. We're not speaking out. Last December, when the trails weren't being groomed, a couple of my friends said, hey, you know, they're not authorizing this groomer program. They're not authorizing the contracts. I said, well, it's 1st of December. They got snow to ride. What's going on? We don't know. They said that we can't groom until we get the contracts back. Out comes the computer, out goes the letters, and the next thing I know, I'm getting these responses on the computer saying, yeah, apparently the DNR didn't think it was that important. And I think, you know, Bill, you're aware of that. They contacted you and said, oh yeah, go ahead and tell them they go ahead and start grooming. Well, I ain't grooming until I got it in writing. That's what they told us. So, are we pushovers? Are we the people that are just going to keep throwing money their way and let them tell us what we're going to do? Or do we get on board? And when I say get on board, I brought up the Outspoken Sportsman earlier. They got the whole UP is just ready to explode. Them guys are screaming and yelling up there. And they're going to these NRC meetings and they're writing letters. They got a couple of the NRC commissioners up there. They're going to kind of form their own little UP group up there for lobbying efforts. And they're saying, where's the snowmobilers? Running around in your woods. We're patronizing your businesses. We're buying your gas. Yeah, but we need your help. We need you to speak up. And we're not doing it. We just aren't doing it. The ATV guys are talking about them and the hits that they took. Well, the ATV guys were in Lansing this week. And they've got sheltrons built that they're all over there emailing the heck out of, trying to get this relaxed so that people can ride an ATV in Zone 2. Now we talk about the manufacturers, and think about this for a minute. With the moves that are going on right now, and I'm hearing it in the air, the Sierra Club's agenda, this forest certification, this keep the woods green, and all this nicey stuff. Well, part of that is you're not gonna be riding no four-wheelers through there, or no snowmobiles through there, or slinging any bird shot or deer slugs through there, because you're gonna be messing up that forest. So it's gonna be restricted more and more and more. I mean, is that what we want? Pigeon River State Forest, that ain't over, not by a long shot. I mean, it's been said that's a done deal, and then there was a big old hullabaloo in Gaylord, and supposedly it was kind of getting undone. Au contraire, it's long from being undone. That's our land that is basically going to be taken away. And they're offering this lip service without documentation. Well, you can't do that. When we walk away, oh, okay. Is there anybody in the legal arena that knows how to challenge these guys when they come off with this? Do we have a law firm or somebody that can go in there with affidavits and documentation and lay it down on them and say, no, you're wrong. You have to do this. You have to comply. And if you don't, we're going to see you in court. We can get all the volunteers in the world we want. We can stand in these meetings all day long and for the next 6 months or blog on the internet or do whatever we want to do. But until we hit them with something that they've got to deal with, we're spinning our wheels. One of the first phases is getting on board with these guys in the UP. They're making progress. Watch them, listen for them. They are.
Is that about the money?
That's about the money, that's about a lot of the regulations, a lot of the rule changes. I mean, we're finding out these guys are going out to recreate, and they're minding their own business, having fun, not doing a thing wrong. DNR, hi, you can't do that. What do you mean I can't do that? Well, because it's against the law. Let me give you one example. Again, I started on all these manufacturers. What products are they going to have to sell if nobody can use them? So they should be looking at this. Michigan Out of Doors. What do they show on their program when it comes on the PBS station?
Money.
Yeah, they got an Argo, right? It's out in the water, comes up the shoreline, goes through the wetland. They just broke every law in the state. So there's a hypocrisy. And what is MUCC doing? We're going to do an audit. Well, that was back in December, and I still haven't heard the results of that. We got money that's disappearing on us, and we got stuff that's going on up there in Lansing that nobody's paying attention to. Apathy. Gotta stop. That's all I gotta say.
It was said that your voices could be heard today. We're hearing everyone's voices. Anyone else?